What to do and see in Singapore for 2022/2023. Let's just jump straight into the first point. The Singapore airport/draw. This would not be a Singapore video without talking about the beautiful, beautiful airport. When you first land in Singapore, I don't care how long your flight was. I don't care how tired you are. You need to go see the jewel. I know this is stupid for me to say, but this was honestly one of the best things I got to experience while I was in Singapore. It was one of those big things you really wanted to try, and I finally got to see it. And it was so worth it because it is so silly, but it was so beautiful. I was there in the morning. I actually have no idea what time I landed, but I landed during the daytime. I went straight for that jewel and it was beautiful. The smell, oh my god, I love the smell because I'm a huge fan of any rainforest, and anything that smells like rain is my favorite smell. So it smelled amazing. It was quite loud, but it's obviously a freaking waterfall. I don't remember how big it is. It'll be here on screen somewhere. It was beautiful. Just go and see it. I don't care. It was one of the coolest things I could see, and I can 100% see why locals will go there to just see it and hang out because it's wonderful. I can imagine myself, I lived in Singapore, I would be going there every day because it's so beautiful. There's a reason why it's open to public. And I also wanted to mention that the waterfall is only active during the day, so it actually turns off in the nighttime, but then they put on this beautiful light show everywhere, and it's really gorgeous, and there's still like running water, and it was really pretty because I remember when we had to go back in the evening, and my dad and sister didn't actually get to see it when it was on. So remember, if you're there during the daytime, go see it if you want to see the waterfall in action. And it's also super practical to see because you're already at the airport, and it's like, I think it was like a 5-minute walk from where we landed. Super easy, super quick. I don't care how long you're staying in Singapore, even if you're just landing there and you have to switch planes and you have to go to a different country, go see it. It's beautiful. The airport is amazing for a reason. Gordon Ramsay. Of course, you can go to any Gordon Ramsay restaurant in any place of the world, but I definitely think if you already are in Singapore, you should book a table to see Gordon Ramsay's restaurant. So I do highly recommend, if you do really want to eat at the Gordon Ramsay restaurant, that you do book a table ahead of time. You don't need a reservation to get in, but it's like really annoying because it's quite a popular restaurant for obvious reasons, so you do want a table available for you if you really want to go see it, and I highly recommend it regardless. I was actually really surprised that the food wasn't that expensive. Like, I went to the Gordon Ramsay in London and it was a lot more expensive, especially what you got. It was obviously pricey, and I think it was worth the money and it was worth the experience, and especially with the staff was really wonderful. The food was wonderful. We kept getting water when we were low on water, so that was great, so free water. The drinks were expensive. It's Singapore. I always think drinks are way too overpriced for what it is. The food was great. I had some chicken thing. I actually forgot what it was, but it was really lovely, really delicious. And also something I noticed that was really interesting. It has nothing to do with the restaurant really. I just thought it was really interesting that all the waiters were wearing Levi jeans. Like, I get the point of like having a work top everybody's wearing, but they were all wearing really nice Levi jeans. I don't know why, but I thought that was a really cute touch. And as I said, like, the waiters were really nice. Like, the whole experience was really great, so I do recommend going to the Gordon Ramsay restaurant if you decide to. I also wanted to mention the hotel we stayed at, which was the Fraser Hotel in Singapore. I'll have the address up here. This was a beautiful hotel. Well, it is a hotel, but it was basically an apartment. So the apartment was almost 100 square meters, so quite large. So we had like a kitchen, dining area, living area, 2 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms. Everything was decked out, like easy peasy, and the staff was really lovely and really nice, and I really enjoyed the whole experience being there. And also something cool, from our balcony we could actually see Marina Bay Sands, and there was once fireworks being fired at there, so that was also a wonderful experience to just see that. And this hotel slash apartment thingies wasn't that large. I think there was like 5 floors or something. I think like the first, I think it was like half of the floors was for just people staying for like a couple weeks, and then like higher it was actually people who lived there. So that was quite interesting. I'm unsure about it, but it felt like it because I kept seeing people in, you know, work clothes, school clothes, so that's kind of just what I assumed. And we did get free breakfast, and also with the outside area that was on the 3rd floor, there was both like a little breakfast area where you could get like this food, of course, and there was also a beautiful pool and a little gym. The gym was great, full of gym rat me. I mean, how would I rate the gym? Really, like 4 out of 10. Wasn't that great, but normally gyms aren't that great stayed at hotels, but you know, it did the job, it did what it had to do. Pool was lovely. I really enjoyed the outside area because they also had a little kids area and it was just really nice and chill, and since it was smaller obviously, it was just a lovely atmosphere. It was great. Again, this would not be a Singapore video if I didn't mention Marina Bay Sands. Who would have thought? If you cannot afford to stay at the hotel, just seeing the hotel is still a really great experience. But I didn't really want to focus this video on the actual hotel part, like if you're not gonna stay there. I wanted to talk more about the rooftop pool. And I wanted to clarify, you do need to be a resident to be able to use the pool, just so you know. You can go to the rooftop area and see outside of the skyline, but you can't actually be in the pool area. And if you're staying there for like maybe a couple nights, maybe even one night, I would just suggest being at the pool all day. The pool was so beautiful. It was beautiful at night, it was beautiful in the morning, it was just fantastic. And also to clarify, you also do need like a reservation for each day. So for example, we were staying there for 2 days and we had a reservation paper for each day. So be very aware that you do need a reservation to go into the pool area. There were also some really nice restaurants there, but they were way too expensive for what they was, so I didn't go there personally. They also had a wonderful gym. The gym was great. A 40-year-old man corrected my form, but we don't want to talk about that, but it was lovely. And a little bit back to the actual hotel experience. As I said, we stayed there for 2 nights. So we had 2 rooms, one for my sister and I, and then one for my parents. They were like suites and they were on the 57th floor? Sorry, 40th floor. The pool is on the 57th floor. And my mom made sure that we had a room on each side of the buildings. So I think my sister and I had like the skyline view, and then my parents had the Gardens of the Bay view. It was very beautiful. Quite funny, me and my sister actually ended up getting the nicer suite. It was just like a bit larger. So instead of it ending at the bedroom part, it also had like a couch area, etc. It was just like a bit longer and a bit larger. I mean, it was a nice hotel. It was obviously very expensive for what it was, and it was definitely an experience, but definitely worth what it is. You know, if you do have a ton of money, you can just do that, but if you don't, you can just stay there for a couple of nights. And then on to my next point, Gardens by the Bay. If you don't care about just seeing the hotel, I would highly suggest going to Gardens by the Bay. It was beautiful. I am extremely in love with any tropical area, so it smelled amazing again. Like, if you just love the smell of rain and nature, you're just gonna love this area. It was huge, and it even started raining there, so it even had more of that wonderful smell. Like, I am just such a huge nature girly. Every time I've been anywhere on vacation, all I want to do is see tropical places and waterfalls and nature. It's just my jam, and Singapore is definitely the place for that. This is super random, but I really wanted to mention this cafe restaurant thing I went to twice. I don't know how to pronounce it. Papai Rice Robot Cafe, which in the name makes sense. It had Vietnamese food, very lovely, very tasty food, and we really just wanted to go in there because we got served the food from a little robot, and the robots had little cats on the screens and they had a little straw hat, and I thought that was adorable. Just a great experience overall, and it wasn't that expensive. But I also wanted to mention that everything is terribly expensive in Singapore. Like, you can't even just go grocery shopping and that's gonna be hella expensive. So just be aware of that if you do decide to go to Singapore, because we definitely struggled a bit and we had to eat in a lot of the times because we did not want to pay so much money just to eat food. Everything was expensive as hell. So I just thought I'd throw that one in there. Raffles Hotel Bar. This was an experience for sure. I know there is a actual hotel with this, but I didn't get to see the actual hotel because that was one of those really expensive hotels as well. It was a little bit of a challenge to actually find the place, but just follow the signs and you'll get there eventually. I think it was really interesting to see the place because you'd get this huge basket of peanuts and you just eat the peanuts and then throw the shell on the floor, and if you finish the bowl they just come with more peanuts for you. That was really fun. It was a bit weird to walk on just hearing the crunch, but that was nice and the peanuts was very good. But one thing I thought was really interesting is that the actual bar area is inspired by the Malayan. Sorry, I have to read off my phone. Like, the actual bar was so beautiful and it was inspired by Malayan life in the 1920s, and their fan system room was like not regular air conditioning like how you'd see in most places in the world. It was literal fans just going back and forth, which was really, really cool. The vibes was just really there and it was really pretty. And I got to try this Singapore drink. This drink was so expensive. Was it worth the money? Not the actual drink. You can definitely make the drink at home and you can get it a bunch of different places. You don't have to go there to get it. I mean, that was where the drink was originally made. And there will also be taxes on the drink. So the original price of the drink, I do not remember right now, I'll have it on screen here, wasn't terrible expensive. Like it was okay, but then there was taxes added to it because, yeah, I don't know why. That just wasn't. So I got to try the wonderful Singapore drink. It was amazing. I loved it. It was like my perfect kind of drink because it was like sweet, but a little bit sour. Very lovely. And I also got to try their shaking machine. You know, like typical, it's like the shaking things. They had like a thing and you would just turn a wheel. I got to try that out, which was really, really cool. Now, one of the last things I wanted to mention that I really suggest you go see in Singapore is the Fort Canning Park. It was extremely close to where we live too, so we could actually go there multiple times if we wanted to. I will say this has nothing really to do with Fort Canning Park, but everything was just so humid and you just got sweaty so easily, so it was really difficult to be outside for more than like a couple hours without feeling like dying, because we went there and it was beautiful, but it was just so unbearably hot 24/7. Like it wasn't hot, it was just really humid, which is even worse than the heat, I would say. So I'd constantly I'd constantly have like a little sheen at my lips and my chin because you also have to wear masks still in Singapore. But this park was beautiful. It was such a wonderful experience because it was just chilling in the middle of the city. And also something about Singapore that I really like is like if you build a certain thing, whatever it is, like a building, you actually have to plant trees out there to even it out. I don't exactly remember what it was, but you had to plant trees if you had to destroy trees to add a building there, which was so cool. And the park was wonderful. Fort Canning Park is beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. So that's gonna be it for today's video, guys. I really, really, really hope you enjoyed that video. And if you did, maybe you want to check out this other video I made. Who knows? And if you want to see more videos of me, you can also subscribe to the channel because that really helps out. Anyways, please be kind to yourself and others, and I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. Bye!